This is the Stars and Stripes in 7, your online source for editorially independent news and information for the U.S. military community. I'm Lamont Easter. Marine amphibious combat vehicles are cleared to return to missions in the open sea after a new tow rope was developed in response to a deadly training accident that forced the Marines to curtail operations. The Marine Corps suspended operations of the new amphibious combat vehicle in unprotected waters while it worked on a solution to a towing problem revealed in after-action investigations related to a training accident off the coast of California that left 8 Marines and 1 sailor dead. That accident involved the Marine Corps' older model amphibious vehicle known as the Assault Amphibious Vehicle. Once equipped and trained on the new tow rope solution, Marine units can use the newer ACVs to perform unrestricted amphibious operations, including self-recovery missions in the open ocean and through the surf zone. Until Marines are trained on the ropes, operations will remain restricted to land mobility, gunnery operations, and amphibious operations only in protected waters. A European rise in new COVID-19 infections that led to temporary closures at Defense Department schools in 2 countries is coinciding with additional military-sponsored vaccination drives, a few of which are geared toward eligible students. Children ages 12 to 15 are now cleared to get a booster on the heels of new Centers for Disease Control and Prevention authorization. The temporary school closures affect Defense Department schools in Italy and Spain. Public health experts recommend that no in-person classes be held until contact tracing could be completed. Since classes resumed, no cases have been tied to in-school transmission. The disruption to classroom instruction comes as the more transmissible Omicron variant of the coronavirus brings Europe a new spike in infections. In response, some bases are creating more opportunities for members of military communities to get an injection. 3 U.S. Coast Guard cutters and a Moroccan Navy frigate rescued 103 people in the Atlantic Ocean. The ships, the Thetis, the Glen Harris, and the Emlyn Tunnel, answered a rescue call after Spain's Las Palmas Rescue Coordination Center received reports of 2 migrant rafts taking on water about 40 nautical miles off the coast of Morocco. Working together, the crews rescued 103 people and recovered 2 bodies. The survivors later were transferred to the Moroccan Navy. The Thetis, which was on escort duty, diverted along with the other cutters to assist with the rescue. The Coast Guard is on a routine deployment in the U.S. 6th Fleet area of operations. The deployment coincides with the escort of the Glen Harris and the Emlyn Tunnel across the Atlantic to their new home port of Manama, Bahrain, as part of the Navy's 5th Fleet. The Air Force is pushing back on claims that the service gave preferential treatment to a woman who was vying to become the first female elite special tactics airman after a member of Congress raised concerns. Lieutenant General Jim Slife, head of Air Force Special Operations Command, responded to accusations of lowered standards, saying they had come from an anonymous email. According to the accuser, a female captain was given more favorable treatment than is typical under the societal norms for airmen undergoing special tactics selection and training. The accuser said the trainee was allowed to repeatedly quit, then rejoin the pipeline, and was offered an unheard-of special assignment in one of the military's most elite units to encourage her to keep going. Slife declined to discuss specifics about the trainee's experiences to avoid added attention and pressure on her, but he did state that most of what the author asserted about her experience was factually wrong or missing important context, which would completely change the perception. Slife said the norms of the training pipeline have changed over the past 15 years based on efforts to get airmen to meet standards. The Navy is requiring senior enlisted sailors and some officers to use a government travel charge card to pay for a permanent change of station. A PCS can cost thousands of dollars for travel, lodging, and vehicle rentals, as well as an untold cost and stress. Paying those expenses with a government card is designed to reduce the burden on sailors and improve government accounting. A government travel card provides sailors with an easier, burden-free financial alternative to paying out-of-pocket expenses associated with PCS travel. My PCS also allows sailors to submit their travel vouchers in a fully automated format on personal and government mobile devices, tablets, laptops, and desktop computers. Service members are expected to understand the rules for using a government travel card and submitting a travel voucher, which the government relies upon to pay the travel claims. The Army drill sergeant who went viral for singing Baby Shark as a marching cadence has a new plan for what he will do. Sergeant First Class Lincoln Chrysler released the first in a planned series of horror-inspired comic books on Amazon. The 21-page issue of Incarnations features badass bikers and very specific wizard powers. The story will go for at least 6 issues, but he has more planned if enough people are interested. Chrysler started writing in high school, and while in the Army, he wrote short stories and a novel. He wanted to adapt one of his ideas into a comic book, having been inspired by the X-Men and other Marvel comics he read while growing up. His upcoming retirement has given him more time to focus on his plans and who he wants to be. He has no illusions about making a living drawing comic books. He just hopes to entertain people by creating something he enjoys. With the Baby Shark clip to his credit, he's already off to a head start on that goal. And that is all for this edition of Stars and Stripes in 7. I'm Lamont Easter, helping you stay connected.